Good afternoon, everyone. I cordially welcome you all to the valedictory ceremony of the third National Virtual Moot Court Competition being organized by Thomas George and Associates. Before I invite Advocate Manav Jasil Thomas sir to give the welcome speech, I will read out a brief introduction. Advocate Manav Jasil Thomas sir is named partner at the firm. After finishing law from ILS Law College, Sir has joined the firm under the esteemed guidance of his mentor and father, Advocate Thomas George Sir. His area of work includes litigation in civil, criminal, family, land, commercial, corporate matters, and other non-litigation matters. Manav Jisal Thomas Sir has been handling litigation matters before varied forums, including the Supreme Court, High Court of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, district courts throughout India, and other statutory tribunals and quasi forums. Sir has introduced virtual internship during the COVID-19 lockdown and helped interns gain experience and opportunity. Sir has mentored over 200 interns. The firm introduced virtual moot court competitions since the past 2 years to encourage students to use their skills and participate. I request Manav Jisal Thomas sir to give welcome speech.
Nanda Garu, respected Honorable Sri Justice M. Sudhir Kumar Garu, the dignitaries from various law firms, law students, our managing and founding partner, senior partners, associates of the firm, virtual and non-virtual interns, teams, and all law students and audience in today's gathering. I welcome all of you all to the valedictory ceremony of the third National Virtual Moot Court Competition conducted by the firm. We are deeply obliged and honored to have all of you all today in today's valedictory ceremony. All good things must come to an end. In the similar manner, the third National Virtual Moot Court Competition conducted by the firm is also coming to its final close today. Thomas George and Associates is a law firm with its base office in Hyderabad, having a varied and diverse litigation and non-litigation practice throughout India. The firm, over its period since its inception in the year 1998, has diversified into various litigation matters, various practice areas. During the pandemic, we can proudly say that we were the first to provide virtual internship opportunities as early as March 2020. And even as on today, we are continuing the process of providing virtual internships to students throughout the country. And as on today, we have proudly provided internships virtually and non-virtually to approximately 300 students in these few years from the COVID pandemic. In order to help students learn the etiquette of the modern and progressed world that today we are in, we started the National Virtual Moot Court Competitions, and this is our third edition. In our second edition, we were pleased to have former Honorable Supreme Court Justice, Honorable Kurian Joseph Sir, as the chief guest for our inaugural ceremony. And the final rounds of the second edition of the Moot Court Competition was adjudicated by former Kerala High Court Justice, Honorable Justice Abraham Matthews Sir. In our third edition, we are pleased to have former Honorable Chief Justice T.B. Radhakrishnan Sir as the chief guest for the inaugural ceremony. We are deeply honored to have you today. We are extremely honored to have Honorable Srimati Justice S. Nanda Garu and Honorable Sri Justice M. Sudhir Kumar Garu today to address the gathering and also to declare the results. We were pleased to have them educate the final rounds of the competition, which was conducted from 2:30 p.m. today. This time, the moot was participated by 36 students. The preliminary rounds were judged by associates and practicing advocates, The quarterfinal rounds were judged by senior associates of various law firms and in-house counsels practicing in different companies throughout India. The semi-finals was adjudicated by senior counsel L. Ravichandar sir and the managing and founding partner of the firm, Thomas George sir. The prizes for today's National Virtual Moot Court competition are as follows. We have 4 prizes. One is the best team, who will win a cash prize of 10,000 rupees, a trophy, and a certificate of merit. The runners-up would win a cash prize of 5,000 rupees, along with the trophy and certificate of merit. The third is the best memorial, will be winning a cash prize of 5,000 rupees with a trophy and the certificate of merit. The best speaker would be winning a cash prize of 2,000 rupees along with a trophy and a certificate of merit. We would also be producing and providing certificates of merits to teams who have qualified to the quarterfinal rounds and also to the semi-final rounds of this moot court competition. We will also be providing participation certificates to all the teams that have participated in today's competition. Barracks worth 4,000 rupees totally are sponsored by Gogia Law Agency for all the winners of these 4 prizes that I have mentioned just now. Now I request the MC to introduce our honorable justices before they address the gathering. I yield the floor to you, Yogita.
Thank you, sir. It is my honor and privilege to introduce Honorable Srimati Justice S. Nanda Garu. Her ladyship obtained LLB degree from Vunki Sanna Reddy Law College and enrolled as an advocate in the erstwhile Bar Council of Andhra Pradesh in 1993. After enrollment, her ladyship joined the office of Honorable Justice G. Chandraya Garu and went on to work as junior counsel for senior advocate V. Rajgopal Reddy Garu. Her ladyship has been actively practicing for more than 28 years at the High Court of Judicature at Hyderabad and dealt with all types of constitutional, civil, criminal, land, revenue, and service matters. Her ladyship was appointed as member and panel advocate of the Andhra Pradesh High Court Legal Services Committee and acted as a master trainer and provided training to legal aid panel lawyers. Her ladyship was also appointed as standing counsel for the Bar Council of India in 2006 and continued as such till elevation as judge at the High Court of Telangana. Her ladyship was further appointed as Central Government Counsel in 2010 and dealt with all cases pertaining to external affairs, mines, home affairs, customs, and central exercise. Her ladyship was also the standing counsel for National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj and panel advocate for National Commission for Women, New Delhi. Her ladyship was selected as legal expert for NRI Women Safety Cell of the Women Safety Wing in Telangana State. Her ladyship was also empaneled as one of the members of the High Court Gender Sensitization and Internal Complaints Committee and nominated as the member Board of Studies, Faculty of Law, Osmania University in 2021. Her ladyship has delivered over 64 reported judgments and is a recipient of the Acharya Chanakya Sadhavana Puraskar awarded by Bharatiya Sanskrit Nirman Parishad, the Elders Club Excellence Award in 2018 by Elders Club International Foundation, and the National Unity Award in 2020 awarded by Telangana Citizens Council. I humbly request your ladyship to address the gathering.
All the distinguished members of this National Moot Court competition conducted by Thomas George and Associates, Honorable Justice Sudhir Kumar Garu, Thomas George Garu, Nirmala Garu, and all other youngsters, all young advocates, one and all. I believe it's a divine blessing of God Almighty to be a part of this moot court competition conducted by Thomas George and Associates, and that too be a part of a division bench with Honorable Justice Sudhir Garu. I was told by Mr. Manav that I need to address the advocates, young upcoming advocates, and should motivate them with my speech. I'll make an effort, hopefully. In 1927, Felix Frankter wrote, "In the last analysis, the law is what the lawyers are, and the law and lawyers are what the law schools make them." In our freedom movement, the prominent freedom fighters like Dadabhai Nauroji, Surendranath Banerjee, Madan Mohan Malviya, and Motilal Nehruji were all lawyers by profession. The eminent lawyers used their legal knowledge to save many nationalists and revolutionaries from the clutches of the British. The father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhiji, our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehruji, our first president and the chairman of the Constituent Assembly, Dr. Rajendra Prasadji, the first Governor General, Sri C. Rajgopalchariji, and the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly, Dr. B.R. Ambedkarji, were also eminent lawyers. An advocate is an integral part for the administration of justice. From the ancient times, the legal obligation of the advocate to conduct the case of a poor litigant without reward when so required by the court has been recognized not only in our country, but also in other countries. To ensure justice to poor and marginalized sections of the society, an advocate is required to provide them legal assistance, even when they are not in a position either to adequately pay him for his services or pay him at all. Legal profession has to ensure that the rule of law is maintained and preserved. We are all aware that young law graduates now have a range of opportunities to choose. They can start their career by joining bar and start practicing in courts or join law firms. With increasing opportunities to study and work in foreign countries, qualified lawyers can also look forward to careers in international institutions and multinational corporations. They can go for further study and become law professors. Joining the judiciary is also a good option. I do understand that many graduates would like to join corporate sector in order to ensure financial security for their families. My request to all these bright young lawyers is that once you have secured the means to live comfortably, you should consider moving towards careers in mainstream litigation, that is practicing in court, the judiciary, and law teaching. Democracy is our heart and soul. We have resolved to secure to all citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty and equality. These are inalienable facets of our constitution and cannot be amended even by the parliament. Legal profession has to take the lead by learning lessons from great freedom fighters, constitution makers, parliamentarians, and others belonging to the legal profession who have built the nation and its institutions brick by brick. All their efforts and sacrifices will go waste if the legal profession does not take the lead, which I'm sure it will, as in the past. What is needed is the genuine efforts which never go waste. The need is of wholehearted devotion and commitment. A lawyer has obligations towards society as well as courts. Our society expects the bar to render professional services in the nature of legal aid, advice, and advocacy in a free and a fearless manner so as to bring about peace, prosperity, and development for one and all. The judiciary can discharge its obligations in the administration of justice only with the total commitment and participation of its main component, the bar. It would be safe to conclude that the efficiency of judicial administration largely depends on the competence of the bar. One of the possible ways to reduce pendency is to encourage litigants to opt for alternative dispute resolution methods like settlement through lok adalat, arbitration, mediation, and conciliation, even in criminal matters where the plea bargaining and compounding of offense is permissible under the Criminal Procedure Code. Parties may be persuaded to settle through these mechanisms. Indian lawyers must keep pace with emerging trend of globalization and require innovative programs of interdisciplinary legal learning as well as expertise in areas such as comparative law, intellectual property, corporate governance, human rights, international trade and investment, and alternative dispute resolution. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, our former president, said, if people lose respect for law and respect for the courts which administer law, it will be a bad day for us. It is essential for the country to respect law, for the government of the country to respect law, and for the courts to maintain the sanctity and purity of legal administration and dispensation of justice. That is absolutely necessary if the rule of law has to be continued in this country. With the enactment of large number of laws, the volume of work in courts has increased enormously. People have become more and more aware of their rights and are no longer willing to submit to any arbitrariness anywhere. It is necessary to re-evaluate the functioning of the judiciary and to bring about a qualitative change in the justice delivery system so as it bring it in tune with the hopes and aspirations of the people. Today, the judiciary is being increasingly called upon to enforce the basic human rights of the poor and the deprived ones. And this new development is making the judiciary a dynamic and important institution of the state. Let us always remember the great words of Magna Carta: to none shall we deny justice, to none shall we delay justice, to none shall we sell justice. Awareness about legal rights, both procedural and substantive rights, is an essential prerequisite for ensuring access to justice. As former Chief Justice of India, Mr. Justice Y.K. Sabarwal noted, the poor and the deprived often remain so and are unable to seek redress simply because they are not at all aware of the rights guaranteed to them and the remedies that are available. The Supreme Court in Sheila versus Union of India, reported in 1986, Volume 3, SCC 596, remarked that legal assistance to poor and indigent accused is sine qua non of justice. If not provided, leads to injustice, and it corrodes foundation of democracy and rule of law. This is merely affirming the important goal envisaged in Article 39 of the Constitution, which states the state shall secure that the operation of the legal system promotes justice on a basis of equal opportunity and shall in particular provide free legal aid by suitable legislation or schemes or any other way to ensure that opportunities for securing justice are not denied to any citizen by reason of economic or other disabilities. Efforts should be made to ensure that litigation is closed at the first stage itself. This would relieve the higher judicial fora from additional burden, plea bargaining, and mediation as the potential to close litigation at the initial stages. We must remember that in the final analysis, the strength and failure of our judicial system lies in its utility and credibility as a necessary organ of the state in a civilized society. The respect it would evoke and the confidence it would inspire would depend upon the way it satisfies the hopes and aspirations of the people of the common man in the quest for justice, in keeping the scales even in any legal combat between the rich and the poor, between the mighty and the weak, between the state and the citizen, without fear or favor. I thank all the young advocates for listening to me patiently. I wish all the very best to all the youngsters watching this. Thank you, one and all.
I thank your ladyship for your invaluable piece of advice. I am deeply honored to now introduce Honorable Sri Justice M. Sudhir Kumar Garu. His lordship was born in 1969 at Kottagudem of erstwhile Khammam district in an agricultural family to Sri Mummineni Nageshwar Rao Garu and Srimati Late Bharata Lakshmi Garu. His lordship did his graduation at Sir C.R. Reddy College, Eluru. Thereafter, did active agriculture for a period of 2 years, and as per the wish of his lordship's mother, joined LLB and enrolled as an advocate in the erstwhile Bar Council of Andhra Pradesh in 1994. While pursuing his LLB, his lordship worked as an advocate clerk in the office of Sri M.R.K. Chowdhury Garu, his lordship's paternal uncle, and continued to do so till 2005. After 2005, his lordship began independent practice and acted under retainer for KL University, Hyderabad and Vijayawada, and all the institutions run by Vignan Jyoti Society and several other software companies. After bifurcation, his lordship continued practice in the High Court for the state of Telangana and was elevated as judge in March 2022. I humbly request your lordship to address the gathering.
Yes. Yes, respected Thomas George Garu, and my sister Nandaji, and Mrs. Thomas George Garu, and Mr. Manna, his associates and colleagues, and all the participants of this event. Very good evening to all of you. In the beginning, I should confess that I'm not a good speaker like Nandaji. And yes, anyway, I'll tell a few words to the young lawyers now who have participated in this event. And first of all, when somebody wants to come into this profession, everybody will say, do you have any godfather or anybody in your family practicing in this profession? Otherwise, it's very difficult to come up in this profession. That's the words that we hear generally from the public who are who know something about this profession, but that's not 100% correct. But there are several instances where the first generation lawyers have gone up to a top level. And for instance, Justice N.V. Ramana Garu is the first generation lawyer from his family. He also come up from an agriculture family, and he's reached the top position in the country. Please don't believe if anybody tell you that to come up in this profession, you need somebody from your family or friends in this profession. That is not a correct statement. Don't believe that. Don't discourage yourself on that ground. And another advice I would like to give to young lawyers is that now the trend is that once you finish and come out of a law college or a law school, everybody looking at some corporate employment. It's a very attractive salaries or looks very lucrative to start with, and that makes the law students also comfortable to start their life. But once you have interest or the profession, don't look at the employment opportunities. That is a noble profession, and once you have love and affection or respect for the profession will give you everything in life. And that's how I have come up. And I have nothing with me when I came to Hyderabad. And by the time I am elevated, I have everything in my life. So profession, if you respect, love profession and dedicate yourself, do hard work, it will give you everything, and which can never be got by anybody else. And this is the very, comparatively compared to doctors, chartered accountants, or any other profession, once you reach a particular stage in profession, there is no other profession which give you that much income. Only thing is you should have to maintain standards, dedicate yourself, do hard work, and strive for the relief for the client. Do never neglect the client's interest. And if once you neglect the client interest and client loses confidence, that's the end of it. If client gets confidence on your services, he may lose or win case. That's a different aspect. Once client gets confidence in your service, and he will tell 100 people about your service and your sincerity. If you neglect in a single case, and he will tell 2,000 people about your carelessness in the profession. So client's interest is the paramount consideration, and equally we are equally responsible and accountable to the court as well. And for the sake of clients' interest, we should never degrade our institution or the legal system. It's only when we protect the respect and status of the legal profession as well as judiciary, then only our respect will be protected. That is another thing one has to remember. And go to an employment, there will be always a boss above somebody, some other boss will be there. If you continue in profession and able to sustain, you are boss for yourself. You don't have to salute anybody or do anything. And that is one thing. And that you will realize only when you start enjoying the profession. And by sitting outside, you can't feel that. Once you enter a profession and start working hard, then you will know the value of the profession. Then another thing, and don't ever get disappointed if you lose a case or if you don't get a client for a month or 2 months. If you don't get client, also keep hard working, keep maintain public relation. A day will come where clients will keep coming by themselves. Only thing is you should be dedicated to the profession and keep hard working. Then there are no shortcut methods to come up in this profession, and don't ever get attracted towards that. Though there are several advocates who will talk more outside than in courts, and we find several such people who will talk like anything in outside the court, but when they come inside the court, they can't even open their mouth. And only instrument to come up in this profession is hard work, and dedication is required, and love for the profession. So I advise all of you to keep these things in mind, and I encourage one and all to join profession rather than going for employment. Employment is nothing before this profession. Whatever may be the salary package that you get, that is nothing in this profession. Please come, enter profession. Profession will give scope for everyone, who, irrespective of number of lawyers we have, thousands we may have, but everyone will have some way or the other to exist in this. So please come to the profession and respect the profession as well as system. Thank you, one and all.
I thank your lordship for the words of encouragement and motivation. Before we proceed with the declaration of results, I would like to introduce Thomas George, sir. Advocate Thomas George, sir, is a founder and managing partner of Thomas George and Associates. Sir has founded the firm in 1998, and the firm has ever since dealt in all kinds of litigation as well as non-litigation works. Since the establishment of the firm, Thomas sir has represented the firm in a plethora of cases before the Honorable Supreme Court, various high courts, tribunals, district courts, quasi-judicial authorities, etc. Sir believes in settling the matters at hand amicably by way of negotiation and mediation in order to solve the matters quickly. Sir's clientele includes reputed non-banking financial companies, banks, healthcare companies, etc. I request Thomas George, sir, to deliver the speech.
Thank you, Ms. Yogi Garu. I'm deeply touched and I'm really honored to have Justice Nandagaru and Justice Sudhir Garu on this occasion to encourage the young youth, young upcoming lawyers. I'm deeply grateful to you, both of you. With folded hand, I submit this. When I entered first into the city civil courts, at the entrance, at the staircase beam, it was written that before entering the threshold of this court, you exhaust all other remedies, quoted by Mahatma Gandhi. I just read out the gist of it. I just call out the gist of it. After seeing that, somewhere it touched me that we should find all other remedies solved before the client steps into the courts. That has touched me, and that has been my endeavor for all the cases. Whatever comes to me, first I take that, and I don't want to delay further. And I was deeply touched for the open confession by Justice Sudhir Garu about the struggles and the motivations that you have given to the upcoming lawyers. And even I was really delighted to hear from the from Srimati Nandagaru about how the various leaders of a country and the flow is still continuing. And this is a great opportunity, as what our justices said, our lordship said, that we should be not discouraged by the society, but we should continue our hardship. Hardworking only will pay the result. With these few words, I thank Mr. Justice Sudhir Garu and Srimati Nandagaru for being here to encourage Manav's endeavor of conducting this virtual moot court conduct competition. Thank you very much. I leave the floor back to Yogita Garu.
Thank you, sir. I now request Manav Jasil Thomas, sir, to proceed with the declaration of results.
Garu, to declare the two results.
Here are the results. The best team goes to TJA 12, comprising of Naganathan Ramaswamy Iyer and Prahlad B from Sastra Deemed University, Tanjavur. The runners-up goes to TGA 11, comprising Savitri V and K. Sai Charishma from Sastra Deemed University, Tanjavur. Congratulations, hearty congratulations.
Now I would like to call Honorable Justice M. Sudhir Kumar Garu to declare the other two results of the competition.
Mr. Manav,
Yes, Your Lordship.
did you communicate? Did I get that?
It is in the contents of the mail, Your Lordship. I shall put it on the chat box again.
Just. Yes. Yes, this best memorial goes to TGA 13, comprising Manav, Bafna, and Dhanush from School of Excellence in Law, Tamil Nadu. Best speaker, TGA 11, Council 1, Savitri V from Sastra Deemed University, Tanjavur.
Thank you so much, sir.
The court volunteers and co-hosts and hosts to kindly spotlight the winners of today's competition so that we can take a photo with our honorable dignitaries.
But before that, Mr. Manav,
Yes,
there are
Your
no
Lord.
runners here, all are winners only.
Yeah.
And the way they have submitted arguments, it's excellent. This is more than 1,000 times more than what we used to do. And it shows that all the students, our law students here will have very, very bright future.
Thank you, Lord, for the kind words. So all this.
Yesterday I had made a mention that here there is only winners or learners. There is no losers.
Yeah.
So on that note, we will take two photographs. So on that note, we will take two photographs, one with the teams and one with all the teams that have participated in the MOOC. So kindly, for now, spotlight TGA 13, TGA 12, and TGA 11. TGA 11, TGA 12, and TGA 13. Is TGA 13 there?
Cannot see on the screen.
TGA 13 is not there. So we'll take request all of you all to smile. Now I will request all the participants to switch on your cameras, all the volunteers to switch on the cameras. If possible, you can spotlight the participants. All volunteers and participants, you all can switch on your cameras. And all of you all can smile that you all have participated.
I see on the wall the Dean of the Shastra University. I extend my hearty congratulations to him because his college is churning out budding lawyers. We should give a big applause to him.
Thank you, sir. Very kind of you.
Yogita?
Yes, sir. I would like to request Associate of Thomas George and Associate firm, Nishant sir, to come forward and give the vote of thanks.
Yogita, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Thank you, Yogita. Honorable Mrs. Justice Suripalli Nanda Garu, Honorable Mr. Justice M. Sudhir Kumar Garu, Learned Senior Advocate L. Ravichandar Garu, Mr. Thomas George Sir, Founder Thomas George and Associates, Mrs. Nirmala Thomas Ma'am, Partner and Administrator Thomas George and Associates, Mr. Manav Jaisal Thomas Sir, Name Partner at Thomas George and Associates, inquisitive participants, distinguished viewers, and our supportive volunteers. I, Nishant Srivastav, Associate at Thomas George and Associates, Hyderabad, Telangana, would like to extend my vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude towards Honorable Mrs. Justice Suripalli Nanda Garu and Honorable Mr. Justice M. Sudhir Kumar Garu as they spared their crucial time for us. We were fortunate enough that Honorable Mrs. Justice Suripalli Nanda Garu and Honorable Mr. Justice M. Sudhir Kumar Garu were the judges for the final round. I'm also grateful to Learned Senior Advocate Mr. L. Ravichandar Garu and Mr. Thomas George Sir, who spared an hour or two to adjust the semi-final rounds. I would sincerely like to thank the judges for the preliminary round as well as the quarter-final round. The judges for the preliminary round were as follows: Meet Thakkar Sir, Avantika Kadapati Ma'am, Prabjot Singh Sir, Ayush Srivastav Sir, Shailesh Chauhan Sir, Vaibhav Vora Sir, Pranita Makarsare Ma'am, Shiv Shruti Ma'am, Rohan Tyagi Sir, Aman Datta Sir, Sarvesh Shahi Sir, Miss Nalla Divya, Jay Kakani Sir, Varsha Raman Ma'am, Simran Singh Ma'am, Sahil Sood Sir, and Ravali Kunduri Ma'am. Judges for the quarterfinals were as follows: Chetan Pridarshi Sir, Manish Sharma Sir, Mrudalika Kansapta Ma'am, Manav Jaisal Thomas Sir, Siri Atluri Ma'am, Amir Bhavani Sir, Karthik Ramanna Sir, and Sharanya Kundu Ma'am. At this juncture, I would also like to thank our seniors, Thomas Sir, Nirmala Ma'am, and Manav Sir. It was because of them that this competition could be fruitfully concluded. I would also like to thank the participants who come up and showed the best of their skills, and the respective moot court associations of their colleges who are as follows: Kalinga University, Chhattisgarh, Raipur, MIT University, Raipur, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat National Law University, Gandhinagar, Gujarat, Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad, Maharashtra, Symbiosis Law School, Hyderabad, Telangana, Pendaganti Law College, Hyderabad, Telangana, School of Excellence, Dr. Ambedkar University, Tamil Nadu, University College of Law, Osmania University, Hyderabad, DNLU, Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh, Shastra University, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, NLU, Nagpur, Maharashtra, Bishop Cotton Women Christian Law College, Bangalore, Karnataka, Savita School of Law, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, Sri Jayanti Lal H. Patel Law College, Mumbai, Maharashtra. At last, but not the least, I would also like to thank the interns, some volunteers at Thomas George and Associates. It was because of their endless effort and their dedicated hard work that this competition could come to a fruitful end. The name of the volunteers are as follows: Ms. Jamla Yogita, Ms. Shweta Singh, Ms. Bhanvi Thakur, Ms. Shweta Sudhi, Ms. Ria, Ms. Jennifer, Ms. Prardhana, Ms. Nilina Banerjee, Mr. Rohit Soni, Mr. Shantanu Rai, Mr. Udyanshu, and Mr. Aditya Bhura. And I would like to wind up this session with a famous quote of Indian boxer, late Muhammad Ali. He says that, "I hated every single moment of my training, but I said I will not quit. I'll suffer and I'll come out as a champion." Hence, to all the winners and the gainers, no one was a loser. To all the winners and the gainers, this was one of your trainings, and with this training, I'm sure that at one point of time you will definitely become a champion. And so, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Your Highnesses.
Lord, the session is come to an end, Your Lordship and Your Ladyship. We once again thank you, Your Lordship and Your Ladyship.
We are deeply indebted to your lordships.